After realizing that the rogues were nowhere to be found, Flash wanted to believe that they had given up their crime life, but then he decided to check out their lair only for a countdown to begin, forcing him to gather as much evidence as possible before vibrating right through the explosion. He quickly headed out of the city to stop them from stealing a gold statue, which he does pretty well until Captain Cold held a hostage at gunpoint, as that's when he remembers that the rogues have a no-killing code, making him figure out that they were all just mirror constructs created by Mirror Master. So after defeating him by hitting 10,000 vibrations per second, he quickly runs back to the city only to realize that they had split up and committed crimes all over, making him confused. But while talking to Iris about how bad he wanted the rogues to actually redeem themselves, he suddenly thought about what the rogues stole today, which ultimately made him conclude that this is the rogues' last heist because they had stolen so much money they probably never will return to the city again. So he quickly ran over to Heatwave's burned down family home, knowing that he'd probably be there before leaving the city, which he was. But not for the reason Flash thought, as he then begins lighting up his whole neighborhood, stating that they should have burned down with his family. Flash quickly put out the fire, but then got blasted by Heatwave, who then jumped on the boat to leave the city for good, only for the rogues to lash out on him, telling him that Flash had surely followed him here, as he then instantly comes along and takes them all out except for Cold, who reveals that he had stolen Speed Force empowered parts to improve his ice gun. Flash basically tells Cold that he could use his intelligence for good since he's so smart that he can do things like this, which just pissed him off as he slaps Barry, stating that he loves being a rogue, until Flash created a heat wall around his body to vibrate through the ice, trying to dismantle the gun. However, he was quickly put down by the rest of the rogues, who he tried to reason with, pointing out that their actions go deeper than just stealing because it's scaring the people and damaging the city they've always claimed to care about, but that didn't quite work as Golden Glider wraps Barry up, suggesting that it is time to kill him. The rogues remind her of their no-killing rule, telling her to calm down and hand the gun over, but she insisted on killing him, expressing that she's tired of repeating the cycle, as she then pulled the trigger. But because of Flash's attempt to dismantle it earlier on, the gun ended up backfiring on them all, leaving him wondering if he really had one because the rogues were still the same.